Tribbles.
Oh, it's adorable.
Famously cute, furry and fun.
Too much fun.
This is the surprising story of how a salute to one of Star Trek's most popular episodes
You can remember it from when you were 5 or 6 years old.
became one of Star Trek's most popular episodes.
This particular show is kind of more fun than any other.
And how those famously cute and cuddly creatures
You get to hold a Tribble. Oh, isn't that fantastic?
survived Star Trek's darkest series.
You put a bomb in a Tribble.
It's a tale of fated attractions,
Those eyes.
technological advances,
And that was the moment we all went, whoa.
and plain old misty-eyed nostalgia.
It felt like, wow, we're on the Enterprise.
I think I can speak for all of us. We felt shunted to the side.
It's also the story of how an unloved, overlooked series finally got its chance to shine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Terrific Treks.
All right. Where do you want to start?
The beginning.
It's the summer of 1996, and with Star Trek's 30th anniversary fast approaching, Paramount's brass are determined to squeeze every last drop of juice out of the occasion. A live Hollywood extravaganza is planned for October.
It's a birthday bash, but not as we know it.
On the big screen, a November release is planned for Star Trek's first Next Generation only cast.
The Federation Starship Enterprise wipes out a vast space cube belonging to the enemy aliens named the Borg.
And on the small screen, Voyager gives a well-timed nod to some familiar faces.
Time flies so fast when you're trekking through the galaxies.
Meanwhile, on Star Trek Deep Space Nine,
We felt shunted to the side.
always considered the overlooked middle child of Star Trek, Deep Space Nine had gotten used to being overshadowed by its older sibling.
They had this other show huge, and we were kind of not TNG.
And outshone by its trendy new sister show.
I'm the newest and the youngest, the fledgling. Emphasis on youngest.
But when the opportunity to share the spotlight came during the 30th anniversary celebrations,
Rick Berman called up and said, "Do you guys want to be involved? Voyager's going to do an episode saluting 30 years."
producer Ira Stephen Bear immediately leaped at the chance and said,
I said, "Rick, I don't know. Let me talk to the guys, see what we can come up with."
oh well. Despite his initial lackluster response and his feeling that
Voyager's doing it, why do we have to do it?
Ira nonetheless decided to put two of his best guys on the case. Rene Echeverria, who'd worked on episodes like The Offspring, I, Borg and Ship in a Bottle,
The ship in the bottle. The ship in the bottle. Good lord.
and Star Trek scriptwriting legend Ronald D. Moore, whose Trek credentials include Yesterday's Enterprise,
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough!
All Good Things, and both of the Next Generation movies at the time. So with that kind of pedigree, Ira's instructions were appropriately simple,
He said, what would you like to see?
which was all these two superfans needed. They quickly began spitballing ideas from revisiting the gangster planet,
Can't do, sweetheart.
And the idea was we would go back to that planet now, based on that previous episode, that it was sort of a planet of Star Trek fans.
Hey, Captain, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
to bringing back fan favorites like Charlie X.
Is that a girl?
But alas for Charlie,
I'm sorry.
it wasn't to be. You see, once they began thinking favorite episodes, Charlie had to make way for a much bigger fan favorite.
The trouble with Tribbles.
The Trouble with Tribbles. And immediately we were left to The Trouble with Tribbles as the most famous episode of the original series. It really was.
Written and shot during 1967's Summer of Love, first-time writer David Gerald's script drew immediate mixed reactions from both cast and crew. Producer Gene L. Kuhn welcomed the chance to lighten up the series,
I was making a little joke, sir.
while creator Gene Roddenberry resisted any such moves.
Extremely little, Vincent.
Leonard Nimoy didn't get it, dismissing the show as frivolous. Shatner, on the other hand,
Oh, no.
always relished the chance to flex his comedic chops.
What is it, Lieutenant?
Sir, the Mayflower's in trouble. She's coming in hotter than a firecracker, sir.
Why the hell aren't I notified about these things?
And named the episode one of his favorites.
How would you handle this?
And as the years rolled by, Tribbles gradually became part of the zeitgeist, often referenced and revisited both within the show and beyond.
When your tummy needs a nibble or a bowl of Tribble.
We're pregnant. With flavor.
Tribble.
all of which made it an obvious choice for Deep Space Nine's tribute show. But the question remained, could they successfully integrate the old show with the new? Part of the answer came from Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump? John Lennon.
Paramount's recent hit movie that seamlessly combined old footage with new.
The point of this whole shot is to get you over to here so that you can turn around and be in a blue screen.
Something Deep Space Nine's producers were eager to take advantage of.
The first question was, well, can we do this? Is it economically feasible? We decided, well, let's ask the visual effects guys. And they got really excited and they said, oh, we can do it, we'll show you.
Now, of course, this was way back in the pioneering days of the 1990s, when LED walls and virtual production were almost as science fictional as Star Trek itself. So back then, the effects team were able to wow the producers by demoing a basic version of what would become Dax's interaction with Captain Kirk. And they did this by adding their own red shirt to the original bridge scene.
And it was so seamless, even in this rough and dirty test, that you never knew that the guy didn't belong on the set. And that was the moment we all went, we can do this show.
And so it was all systems go on a show that, once greenlit, quickly became a source of pride and enthusiasm for both cast and crew.
You took that energy, you could light a city.
Who happily threw themselves into creating a loving homage to the original series.
It was so much fun. It was literally plunging into a piece of your childhood.
Maybe none more so than Dax herself, Terry Farrell, who'd been a Star Trek fan from childhood.
I know him.
The writers used Dax's excitement about stepping onto the fantastic world of the Starship Enterprise as a substitute for their own.
It's really fun. I mean, from having false eyelashes and I have a beehive hairdo, then to having go-go boots and a mini skirt, which, let me tell you, it's pretty mini.
And the director captured the actors' sense of wonder by keeping them off the Enterprise set until their characters stepped onto it.
And that morning was the first time we had seen the corridors, and what was great was we were supposed to react to it like, wow, we're on the Enterprise. And it was easy because it felt like, wow, we're on the Enterprise. It looks so real.
And on the subject of Terry Farrell, Dax, we can't ignore the prescient nature of this exchange.
I had no idea.
What?
He's so much more handsome in person. Those eyes.
Kirk had quite the reputation as a ladies' man.
Not him. Spock.
Some 20 plus years after the scene was shot, Dax married Spock's son.
That's cool.
Terry Farrell married Leonard Nimoy's son, Adam, on what would have been Leonard Nimoy's 87th birthday.
Fascinating.
So with all the effort, high-tech wizardry and all-round goodwill that comes from a beloved fan favourite, you're probably thinking Trials and Tribble-ations finally brought Deep Space Nine the hard-won recognition it so richly deserved. Right?
Well, not exactly.
Yeah, right, not exactly. It's true the episode did garner its share of praise and good reviews at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And it also brought it,
ladies and gentlemen,
a well-earned seat at the table.
Live from Hollywood.
At the 30th anniversary celebrations.
A 30th anniversary salute to Star Trek.
But as is so often the case when it comes to Deep Space Nine, the black sheep of the Star Trek franchise took a little getting used to.
Good evening, Vulcans and Romulans. Good evening, Klingons, Bajorans, Cardassians, Betazoids, and silicone-based life forms. Whew.
But while the series may have struggled to stand out in the Star Trek feeding frenzy that was mid-90s network television, when it comes to the streaming world of the 21st century, Deep Space Nine has finally found its niche.
What's changed is the delivery system. Now it's easy to binge.
And thanks to its intriguing cast of characters, its ahead of its time season-spanning story arcs, and its general binge friendliness.
I've noticed that there's a whole different group of fans now.
Plus its willingness to just kick back and have a little fun every now and again with a frivolous show about Tribbles, for example. You could say that for Deep Space Nine, time... how will I put it?
Time is the fire in which we burn.
Ooh, that's dark.
Time is fluid, like a river.
Fascinating but irrelevant.
Time is a companion who goes with us on the journey. Reminds us to cherish every moment.
Ooh, very Picardian.
Because he'll never come again.
But again, irrelevant.
Time has been good to Deep Space Nine.
There you go.